It should be. Okay, now we are live. What is up? Nobody, because I don't know nobody watching, but it's straight. This is me, Kentama Sensei. Now I'm here with the big homie.
C1 was popping.
That's lame, bro. No, I'm joking. All right, bro. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. Let's talk about this One Piece chapter 846, right?
Right. Let's talk about it.
All right.
Let's,
So, how you? First of all, how you feel about the chapter?
man, that chapter had me feeling crazy for not when I think about it. Like the fact that I was just looking at it like Luffy is just getting demolished. Like Luffy is really getting messed up out here. Like it is crazy. Like the back in the back of my head, I'm just sitting there thinking like, who is gonna pop out to help this man out? Like I feel like I can't be the only one thinking like that.
I agree with you, but the one thing I'm thinking about is like who, like how long can Luffy last? That's my question. Like, what is he doing?
Yeah. That's the same thing I'm thinking too. And another thing, you see how big like Big Mom's uh armies, like some of the members' bounties are. It makes you think like can Luffy really go up against people with bounties like that high and everything like that? Like that is crazy. Like
At the same time?
wait, what'd you say?
You mean all those bounties at the same time?
No, I'm talking about people individually. Like, what's the new person that was? I forgot the name of the new person that was in it.
Sweet Commander and Smoothie?
Yeah, Smoothie. Smoothie's bounty was like over 900 million.
Million? Yeah, I
That-
mean,
that-
yeah, I see what you're saying, but the thing is that Cracker was like 800 million, right?
yeah, you're right.
His bounty was 800 million, and they didn't even show his true, like he didn't. No one even knew his true body. So I feel like his was like it could have been higher. I feel like it could have been over a billion, honestly.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So
People
that
people be on the Cracker hype train, but the only thing he really had was defense. His defense was top tier, I feel.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's gonna be something that people will be like,
People
"Well,
people got people got to let the Doflamingo versus Cracker debate go and just realize that Doflamingo is definitely winning that fight.
I,
Definitely.
I I just can't even know. I just don't even know how people can say Doflamingo will lose to Cracker. I just can't even see that.
But back to the chapter though. What else happened that caught your attention?
Man, all right. So one thing that caught my attention was the fact of seeing all the different races that have yet to be like named. I guess we see if you look at I don't know what page it was, but it's the page. It's chapter 845 when they show the enraged army. You see a whole bunch of different characters that we've never seen before, like those two long neck people right there. I think people talked about the
Right.
long type tribe a while ago, or the long head tribe. But yeah, it's a lot of different races in One Piece, and that's another thing. Like it adds to the mystery of the people being different sizes. Um, but the thing is that there's just a heck of a lot of races.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Like you even see with like with even like black. I mean, I said Blackbeard, Whitebeard. Whitebeard had a whole bunch of like different races in his crew. So I can definitely see what you're talking about. I can definitely see what you're talking about.
Exactly, and another thing about the height is that like we don't even know if people are people are not even finished growing. Like the one character who you would think in One Piece is finished growing would be Brook, but if you look at it, Brook has actually grown 3 inches post time skip.
Yeah, that
Brook
is true. That is
got
true.
taller during the time skip. I just don't understand what is happening. I don't understand what's happening with Brook. I don't understand any of these. I feel like nobody really understands because I look around and I don't see nothing that's really with it.
Okay, matter of fact, wait. What do you think about like the whole situation with with Nami's Vivre card getting taken away.
Man, I feel like that was it was bound to happen. Everybody felt like, well, not everybody, but a lot of people felt like she would be able to control Prometheus and Zeus. I didn't really see that coming. I didn't really see her doing that, but I did see her manipulating Big Mom's manipulating Prometheus though.
The yeah, yeah. Honestly, I was actually shocked when I saw that the car got taken away. I was like, oh wow, that was like one of the only things that they had an advantage on.
That's true.
What are they gonna
That's true.
do now?
That is very true.
You know,
But
no, go
all
ahead.
right, I'll go. But yeah, man. But that sadistic type lady, she has I don't know where her devil fruit powers are, man.
You said you're trying to figure out what the devil fruit powers are.
Yeah, for her because she was holding Nami's hands in the air, like clenched them, like with handcuffs, but
Yeah, yeah.
just using her powers.
I don't know. What do you like? What kind of idea do you have? Like, I have no idea what it could possibly be.
I don't know either, but her devil fruit looks like it looks liquid, so it has to be with some type of food. It's probably
Yeah,
like a I don't know a jelly,
like a.
like that.
You think it'd be like licorice or something like that?
I don't know if licorice is that liquid because I'm looking at the page right now and it's very liquid. But
Oh, it's like very.
yeah,
Okay.
if you think about Big Mom's children, like most of them have food based powers except for like Brulee. I think she's the only one I can think of off the top of my head that has like a mare fruit and it's not edible.
That's
Yeah,
true. That is true. That is very true. But yeah, man, I'm trying to see what's going on with like this whole Big Mom and Sanji situation. Like yeah, do you really feel like Big Mom was being honest with what she said? Like, oh, she'll leave the Straw Hats alone and everything like that.
bro, I trust Big Mom with what she says because we have seen from Big Mom that she's a woman of her word.
That
She
is true.
says she will do. Like people are saying like she's lying, but I feel like it's just a figure of speech. You gotta have to separate the figure of speech from the actual literal meaning. You know what I'm saying?
See, the thing is, like, one thing I'm having a dilemma with is like, do you really? I don't know. I feel like previously I used to feel like Luffy, in One Piece, once Luffy always says, I'm gonna kick your ass, or like, like, oh, I'm gonna beat you up. Like, he always fights that person, and he definitely said that to Big Mom in Fish Island. Going on, so yeah, but the current thing is, in the situation that's going on right now, like, I don't know, like, do you feel like they'll fight, or
I mean, Luffy does say that. Like, I will agree with that. But so a lot of times Luffy gets beat up first. So I mean, even if they do fight, like it's been shown that Luffy gets his butt handed to him, and then he comes back. But even so, I think he will fight her. He might fight her. I really don't think he'll win if he does fight her.
you don't think he'll? Yeah, see, yeah, Big Mom, that is one person. Like how, like, what can he do? Like, if he touches her, she can take away a part of his soul.
But
You
that's
know,
if he can move fast enough not to
yeah.
be get his soul taken away, then he'll be able. I feel like he has a better chance against it.
I mean, I do feel like Luffy is fat. Okay, yeah, like I said, because Luffy in Gear 2, when he's using Gomu no Gomu no pistol, he's like he's what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say warping, but
But you gotta
he's.
understand that she's a Yonko. She sees that. She has to see that type of speed. At least get two speed all the
I mean,
time.
yeah, her observation, her key might
Yeah.
probably be A1. Yeah, being Yonko level, yeah, it has to be. They probably,
Yeah.
yeah.
But the one thing that we've seen pre-time skip is that observation hockey is not all of it, unless Adele just did not master observation hockey, which I don't think he did. But Luffy beat Adele when he had observation hockey. So it
I mean,
can't
and
be.
but another observation, how Key was on another level too, because he was using the electricity and the I want to say, yeah, let's say air, using, using that and being able to sense people talking and stuff like that, like actually even hearing them talk.
Yeah, what he was
It's
doing,
like,
he was just getting the frequency. He was just carrying the frequency to his ear,
yeah,
and everybody talks at different frequencies. So he was able to take what a
distinguish
lot of
between.
people said. He was able to hear it because of the electromagnetic waves in the air, which he was using. But but yeah, man, like I just observation hockey seems hacks, but honestly, I don't think anything is hacks in One Piece because a lot of people, if something was so hacks, then everyone would do it, and the person that was best at it, he would be number one. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's
Uh,
no true number one in One Piece right now.
oh, okay, okay, okay. I thought you were just making, like, making a statement, uh, like devil fruits and things of that nature in One Piece not broken.
Yeah, they are broken, but they're only like there's always a downfall to it. I feel like Oda has shown
Uh,
over and over again is either there's a devil fruit that seems so OP that somehow the person gets defeated, or there's a devil fruit that seems really weak and that person is just OP like Cracker.
it's like, see, but the thing is, it's like you get people like Kizaru, like you get people like Kizaru and Isho and Akayunu, like their devil fruit abilities are broken,
So it was big,
broken.
but she's not the number one Yonko though. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Like
yeah,
she's not the pirate queen. Because if her powers were like that, if they were really that broken, she would just walk up to Kaido and Shanks and Whitebeard or Blackbeard and just take their souls and take the whole crew soul and been
you
like,
do have a
yeah,
point,
that's what's gonna happen to y'all, and just leave and just take everybody's poneglyphs.
man. Since we're on the subject of young, man, I'm really trying to figure out what's going on with this man Blackbeard. Blackbeard, in my opinion, he's that guy to me right now in One Piece, man. Like Blackbeard is that guy. I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on him, but Blackbeard he's going to be a problem. He's
He
definitely
will
going to
be a
be a problem.
problem, but it's one thing to be a problem in the future and to already be a problem. Kaido is the strongest organism. The strongest,
And
the literal translation is the strongest organism, which means everything, like, and he's the strongest being in the One Piece world. I don't care what anybody says. It's been stated so many times. If it's one versus one, bet on Kaido.
oh,
Bro,
Kaido's going to win.
Kaido is number one. He's the strongest. That does not mean that he will win every fight because the strongest do not win every fight. He can outsmart
Right,
people. See,
right.
people get that misconstrued. They were like, "Oh, he's number one, so that I mean he's the strongest, so he's automatically beating everybody." That's not the case. You can double team him or things of that nature. You know,
Yeah. No, I'm waiting for Kaido. I'm waiting for that. Oh, I'm definitely waiting for that. You know, hopefully this Wano Kingdom is the next thing we get to see, but uh, but that's in the future though. But nah, man, I really like, I really like the chapter and everything like that. It was pretty good. Um, like if I was to rate it, I would probably give it like a 7.5, 8 out of 10.
I was a little bit higher. I'll say 8.5 to 9. I really like the chapter. I really like the I really like how Otis switching scenes seamlessly. Like he switches the scene and it's not like you don't get the feeling
Oh,
of oh man, like I still want to see that
you
scene.
know,
The next scene is
you
better
know,
than the last.
we completely forgot about.
What?
I lied because I have to change my rating of what I just gave it. I forgot that we were completely talking about the poneglyphs.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about at first. He changed it to Blackbeard.
Oh man, my fault, my fault. But yeah, oh man, the particles. Let me scratch that YouTube. Yeah, I would probably give this a 8.5 for real. Yeah, that so if the Straw Hats and the the whole alliance, if they're able to really steal Big Mom's poneglyphs and everything like that. Do you know where that would put them in the quest to get One Piece?
And not only that, but it will make it that much better because they have Robin. But
Yeah,
but
yeah,
she's
that
not
is
with them
true.
right now. But yeah, so that is
Oh, once honestly, I feel like yeah, once they get that poneglyph and once it gets in Robin's hands, it's gonna be a problem because as we all know, Robin's the only one who knows how to read.
that we know of.
Uh, well, I mean, actually, I feel like people like Raleigh know how to read poneglyphs.
Not
I feel like
nobody in Rogers crew know how to read it, bro.
you said nobody in Rogers crew know how to read them.
Yeah,
That, but you, but you remember, like he said that he knows everything. Like he knows what happened in the
somebody
voice
explained
century.
it to him. Somebody had to have explained it to him.
Okay. Oh, so you think Roger just read it, was able to decipher the poneglyphs, and then just told them like
I don't, I
what
don't,
happened?
I don't remember how it was exactly, but I think that the way that they said it was that nobody in Rogers crew knew how to decipher it, so they had to get someone who could decipher it. And then he
Okay.
told them, and then that's how they found out the true history.
Man, that's another thing. I feel like, man, when that voice century gets revealed, that's gonna break the internet.
I agree, but one meeting that no one ever talks about, two people will
Bro.
meet. I really want two people to meet, and worse than One Piece. Like I want them to meet really badly. That's Shanks and Dragon, man. I want them to meet.
Oh
In
my
conversation.
goodness,
I want to see
yeah.
how that would be because, like, I, I mean, I feel like a conversation between those two would break so many like theories. Like it would be a really intellectual conversation. I feel like we'll learn a lot from that conversation.
Yeah, that is true. That's true. I can see that. I can definitely see that. I can
But
definitely see
what do you
that.
think about Pedro though? Pedro being a former pirate.
I was actually shocked. I was like, oh wow, like it's really more to the Minx than you think. You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I was not expecting him to come out the cut and be like, oh, like yeah, I used to be a pirate and everything like that. But it makes sense though. It makes sense because he does seem like he knows a lot of information.
Yeah, it was no wonder you knew so much information about Whole Cake Island.
Yeah, he knew a lot. He knew a lot. So hey, are we not gonna talk about how broken like Brooks' infiltration skills really are? Like I feel like that's one thing that's really slept on. Like Brooks Brooks' infiltration skills is on a it's on another like I don't want to say on another level, but yeah, it's really useful. It's really becoming a problem.
That is very true. That is very true because Brooke, he can like when it first showcased his power, when he first showcased his power post time skip, I was like, I wonder if he can go through walls. You know what I'm saying? Because like
Yeah, yeah,
it was his soul, but I was like, maybe he can go through walls. Maybe he can do all of this. But it's older, man. You never know what's going to happen.
right. Nah, man, this man Oda. Now he outdid himself though. It was a lot of information that we got. It's a lot of information that we got. I'm trying to figure out how Brooke and Pedro are really about to go about this whole thing of you know sneaking and getting these poneglyphs. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to be able to do it.
The way that I see it happening from the way that their dialogue went is that freaking Pedro's gonna go and he's gonna draw everyone's
Attention to
attention.
him, yeah, and then Brooke is
And
gonna.
Brooke is gonna do something and go in, and I feel like Pedro will be in trouble, and Pedro will be like, "No, Brooke, don't." We'll be like, "Yes, Brooke has the pony clips or whatever," and then Brooke is gonna come back. He's gonna be like, "Hey, what are you doing back here?" And then Brooke will be like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, but I can't let you out." Something like that will
Okay,
happen.
now, okay, okay, I see what you're saying. But nah,
But
man, they gotta do something to help my man Luffy out though.
Luffy, yeah, you see, the last time we saw Luffy, he was holding on to the grass, trying not to get.
Yeah, like that's one thing I will give this man Luffy. Luffy is a real nigga. Like
Who
Luffy is a real nigga. Like that is like I put Luffy's real nigga-ness. I put it even higher than people like Goku. Um, man, the only person I can compare, uh, the only person I could compare Luffy's real nigga-ness to is
Who? Hello?
yeah. Now I was hearing something. It caught
Bruh, your speaker. This dude muted his speaker, man. But yeah, man. I don't know what he's doing, but I'm gonna the show must go on. All right, so the next thing I wanted to talk about was undiscovered races in One Piece. Like I said, if you look at chapter 845, you can see a lot of different races in One Piece. And I think there are three almost clear-cut races in One Piece, in the One Piece world that has not been um, implicitly said. And one is like the sadistic, I guess, a sadistic race. Because if you look at the daughter that was fighting against Big Mom, I mean not Big Mom, but Nami, she looks very similar to the jailer that was in Impel Down. They both have the horns. They both do sadistic type moves. So yeah, I feel like that's is a race more than a fashion statement. Hey yo,
yeah.
hey bro, what's that in the background, bro?
Oh man, that's Spider Man.
Hey, you can't mute that, man.
I got you on my fault, YouTube. But yeah, man, back
But
to
yeah,
the money.
I was talking about the races, and I was just talking about how I feel like the lady from the woman from Impel Down, and also the Big Mom's daughter that's fighting Nami, that they're part of the same race.
Uh, I could see the similarities to it,
Look at
but
it, not even wait, hold on, let me before you finish what you're saying, but just also look at their fighting styles. It's the same type of sadistic type things. You see the way that she was holding, clutching Nami up, like having her hands above her heads, like she was actually chained to a wall or something. Like usually people when they're handcuffed, they just let their hands be down. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And also, well, I'm off. Keep going.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I wasn't even
Right.
gonna
Well, the
say
next race I wanted to say was, I think somebody already said this. I think it was either One World or Joy Boy, somebody like that. They're talking about how there's a clown race. And I was like, okay, maybe I can see that. They drew comparisons between kids, Caesar Clown and Buggy, and I was like, okay, I can see the similarities. But with the new addition of this dude that was fighting Luffy in that weird world that was walking on books and stuff, he looks very similar to Buggy if you just take away the nose. He has the same type of marks around his eyes like Buggy, and he even has the lipstick around his lips, the lipstick type lips and stuff. And remember, Buggy was like, "Oh, my nose is real. My nose is real. It's not fake."
yeah. He
That
did say that.
since the beginning, that go to that, put that right there to just like later to have everybody be like, "Oh my gosh, that was actually a race." I feel like there's a clown island out there somewhere where there's people full looking like Eustace and this Big Mom's son. And there's even other clowns in the picture. If you look at the chapter 845, if you look at the enraged army, when everyone's in the picture, you can look around and see clowns. And so I once again I forget it was either Joy Boy or One World. They were talking about the punishments for Jinbei, and if you looked at the wheel of doom or whatever, it
Hmm.
had an arm, a leg, a head. It didn't have like a face on it that looked kind of like King Neptune. But he was like, that's not King Neptune. It's actually a clown face, like a jester. So
Hmm.
everyone was in front of Jinbei, and instead of like for him to leave. So you see when everyone was like, "Oh, Jinbei's a coward. Jinbei's this. Jinbei's that." Their theory was that that was his punishment. He actually won't lose any limbs. He won't lose his head. He would just get made fun of.
Just have
Like,
everybody laugh at him.
yeah, because if you take that and then you look at the actual clown, like the clown people that have been a part of the clown race, like quote unquote, it does look very similar to that caricature.
I will have to go back and look at it.
And there's one more race I feel like there is. I call it the Big Head Tribe. If you look at Ivankov and Pound and Rizzo, Mono Kingdom, they all
Yeah,
have huge heads.
have
Like
big heads. Yeah, that
normally,
is true.
that Pound has really big hands also. That Oda drew him with big hands was just to make him look like he was a giant. Giant.
Yeah,
I feel like Oda does is he draws attention to something without fully explaining it, without fully letting you know. Then in the future he says, "Oh yeah, this is what that was." And you're like, "Oh my gosh, Oda's a genius." You know what I'm saying? Because he showed it to you. He even like he shows it to you. He waves it in your face. Is later he says, "Oh, this is what it was." You're like, "Dang, I'm so stupid." You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Like honestly, like who would have? Honestly, like that's why I respect Oda and the things. Like who would have thought that the very card that Lola gave them would have been foreshadowed all the way to Big Mom?
And it would have had such a big,
Impact. Yeah.
huge. I mean, you thought nothing of it. No one ever thought anything of that Beaver card.
Nah.
But then
But
he was able to
just
control the homies and everything.
right there, like, oh, she's Big Mom's daughter. It makes you realize, like, think like, what make her want to leave, Big Mom and everything like that, like leave Whole Cake Island.
But they said that she was a runaway. But like
Yeah, I
I
mean, yeah,
really feel that
but like, what led to her running away?
daughter then try not to like try to hide that you're my daughter, you know? Like I want you to be proud of me still. So she was like, "Hey, hold this. You're still my daughter, even if you're running away. So I can always be able to find you and you can find me."
Right. Oh yeah, yeah,
Because the only reason I feel like the only reason she was able to get the Viva card is because she was not on Whole Cake Island. If she had stayed on there, of course, Big Mom would never give anybody the Viva card because she knows that they can control the homies for things. But since Lola is off the island, there are probably other kids of hers that are off the island also. Viva card because they can't do anything until they come back to the island.
hmm
Yeah, because people were saying that, oh, Big Mom and her kids are lying because they said nobody has a Viva card. If you look at what they said no one on Whole Cake Island has a Viva card. I look at it like that.
yeah. I can see what you're saying. I can see what you're saying, but like, no, shadowing, like, just even with the reveal of Sanji being from the North Blue, like Oda even foreshadowed that. Would have never known that like something like that would have led up into, oh, this is who Sanji really is. Like, oh, Sanji's, background plays a huge story or
True,
plays a major role in, is that what you said?
Brooks also.
Brooke, yeah, Brooke as well. It shows you how like everyone in the Straw Hats are just connected. You know,
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are connected some way, some shape, form, or fashion.
person plays their own specific important role. Like, but and it also has like a legendary kind of going back to like Goldie. You know how like Tom built the apprentice of Tom the shipwright. How Robin is the only Oharian that's still alive. Like she plays a major role into and getting One Piece, so on and so forth. I don't know. I feel like and that I don't know. It's too many similarities of like and Goldie
Yeah, I
to me.
agree. I feel like it's kind of crazy that everyone is an important person. Like everyone is important in some way. Their parents, like literal parents, um, are usually legendary. Like everyone has some type of legendary connection, except for Brooke, when his connection is just himself because he's really old because he was able to live longer because of his devil fruit. So yeah, but let's finally let's talk about this death battle between Zoro and Urza.
Oh man,
Talk about that
you
real
know,
quick.
just a disclaimer, I'm not really a fairy tale fan. I'm One Piece all day, every day. I used to kind of watch it, but I never really was, I could just never really get into it. I don't, I don't see how Ezra could win this. I read some things and some people have told me like Ezra's actually like very broken, like she's actually a problem, but I can't see her beating my man Zoro, like, is the things he's done and the feats he's shown us effortlessly. Yeah, uh, Zoro is Zoro's really a problem.
Well, as somebody who loves both Fairy Tail and One Piece, but One Piece will always be my favorite anime of all time. But I do love Fairy Tail. I can see how Urza can put up a fight with Zoro. I feel like she can put up a fight with him, but I feel like it's kind of like the Hulk versus Doomsday. It's Zoro being Doomsday and Urza being the Hulk because I just don't see how she can keep it up with him because he can keep going
Yeah,
and
Zoro's
going.
durability is on another, like Zoro's durability is ridiculous. And we all know that when Zoro puts that cap on, it's a problem.
Bandana. Yeah, but Urza, she did defeat 10,000 demons, either 10,000 or 100,000 demons. She beat them all by herself. She was very tired when she did it, but Urza has done a lot of things. She also has the requip magic, where
Yeah.
she can change what she's wearing and how her fighting style. She can use fire, ice, lightning, any type of element, any like basically anything she can think of, she can use. So I feel like it's going to be crazy. I feel like she's going to be changing her costume a lot and changing her fighting style a lot. But finally, her last costume is going to be when she just has the sword, her flame pants, and those bandages around her chest. She's going to fight Zoro just like straight up sword style, and that'll be the last part of the battle. Because that, like, they've shown that even though that she's wearing the least amount of anything, that she's the strongest in that form. So I don't know. I'm really excited to see it. I hope they don't pull any.
BS.
Yeah, they don't pull the usual screw attack BS on us. Except for with Doomsday. With Doomsday, I took that. I was like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, like honestly, speaking on Doomsday, I didn't realize how broken Doomsday
Yeah,
was.
I didn't know
Like
either.
that like Doomsday really changed the game. When you break it down, it kind of makes sense of how Doomsday could beat the Hulk. Like it makes sense. It's very logical. Doomsday can't like the only thing the Hulk could do is smash him and then beat him to death. And Doomsday's been beaten to death before, so you can't die like that again. So what are you gonna do?
Exactly. So the only thing I was thinking about was that the Hulk could punch him, but if the Hulk could fly, that'd be a whole nother thing. Or if he could breathe in outer space. See, Doomsday, he can't. He can do anything. He can breathe in outer space. He can live. Like the only thing I could think about was is Hulk smashing Doomsday into a volcano or something. That's the only thing that I could think of.
I feel like he would survive that.
I mean, all Hulk. Well, also the Hulk and a lot of people think that when in a battle, it's all about killing someone or being killed, but he can also just simply knock them out.
I mean, yeah, that is true.
Knock 'em out. But Doomsday, like Screw Attack said, he's fought so many light speed people. Even the Flash, he defeated the Flash before.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, Hulk ran at about Mach 5 when he was like in regular Hulk form, and he could
You
only
know,
fight like a light speed person.
that's
And
easily putting Doomsday over, like, on the level of like moving at light speed.
yeah, yeah, or at least reacting to light speed.
Yeah, like the fact that I was shocked when I saw that when they said he beat the Flash. I was like, wow,
I
nigga, the
mean,
Flash.
think of it, Superman is about as fast as the Flash.
Yeah, but I still think the Flash is very OP. But that's for another time, another day.
Yeah,
The Flash is very OP. But
yeah, man. Yeah, what's up? Hey, get your
what?
closing statements in, bro. Because I'm about to go ahead and shut this thing down.
All right, but now, overall, man, I'm definitely loving what Oda's doing, man. I'm loving where the story of One Piece is going, man. Uh, this journey One Piece is going is real crazy, man. I just hope, well, I trust Oda not to pull no BS and play with my man Luffy. I know Luffy's gonna come out here looking like the realest. So yeah.
But let me just say this. Y'all see how this dude talking right now? A year ago, he was singing a different tune. He was doing nothing but watching Naruto. So don't be fooled by his love for One Piece. He just caught up to One Piece this summer. So he just started and he caught up to it this summer. That's how good it was to him. I told him, I've been telling him for about 10 years to watch One Piece. He don't want to listen. He don't want to listen to me. I told him it was greatness. He didn't want to listen to me. So
Man, One Piece, that is the greatest. That is the
I
greatest.
totally agree. I totally agree. But yeah, man, that's all we got, man. Well, that's all I got. So yeah, man, we out.
All right, you too. Stay blessed.